What's up, board fam? Eric here. It's time for another AMA video. If you would like to ask me anything anonymously and possibly get featured in this video series, click the link in the description box. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's get into our first comment slash question. They say, hi from Australia. Hello. Right now, my country is blocking access to the internet for certain ages. Do you think this kind of restriction will help with grifter content? Here, many people are divided on this restriction, saying they think it's going too far. Please give your thoughts if this will help fix the problem with hater content. Thank you for your comment and question. I'm not a fan of government-regulated internet access. I'm just not. I don't think it's good. I understand that the intent, at least from what I can see, is to protect access to certain kinds of content on the internet for certain age groups, but this kind of like overreach, like having people's IDs connected to accounts, this can be used for insidious reasons. So I think everybody, regardless of where you are, regardless of what they say the reason is, should be absolutely concerned that the government wants to actually have your ID on file connected to your internet activities. That's big red flag for the general public. If you haven't done anything wrong, or there's no reason for the government to be monitoring your internet activity, I think this should be very upsetting for you. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan. As far as like the idea that the hater content, the grifty content, I don't know if this specific thing will affect that in a way that will make it like a meaningful, like YouTube will make a meaningful change to the way their algorithm works for this one thing, for everybody in the world, because of this restriction in Australia. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's kind of like looking for a silver lining on something that I don't think really has a silver lining. Again, I'm not a big fan of things like invasions of privacy and censorship and stuff like that. It's really hard for me to get behind those kinds of things. It has to be a very specific thing that I think could be that the positives outweigh the negatives. And in this scenario, based on what I have read about it, and I have to read more, but based on what I've read about it, it just seems like it's just primed up for like government corruption. And maybe that's just me looking at it through the lens of the United States, but a lot of places here, they're trying to do the same thing. In my state, certain things are blocked. Not in the country, but in my state specifically, certain things are blocked. You have to use a VPN to get to it. I don't think that should be the case. I don't think the government should be doing those kinds of things. Even when they say it's for the greater good, I think there is a slippery slope there where it leads to, and I'm going to give an example of what that slope is. Today it starts with IDs and registrations for certain ages. Tomorrow it's for certain kind of websites. Later on it's for certain kind of political things. Like there's just more and more they can do with this by having your ID on file and just selectively restricting things that come into the country. So I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. I do realize that they're saying it's for a good reason, but my skeptical nature tells me that I don't know if I can totally get on board with that when it's the government doing it. That's a really weird thing. Anyway, thank you for your comment. All right, here's an interesting one. Says here, Trump, in all caps, Trump won. Woke is dead. Long live the 199, which I believe is some Geeks and Gamers bullshit. Things have never been better. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. What content has come out since Trump has won that reflects the values of MAGA? What movie, what TV show that has come out and been successful that reflects the views of MAGA? Because I'm looking around, I don't see a lot. And if you're watching something like Geeks and Gamers, and that's your go-to channel with the 199 shit, I'm assuming you're talking about media like Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, Disney, things like that. So show me where woke died and anti-woke became or replaced it. Show me where that happened, because I'm not seeing it anywhere. I'm not seeing it. We're not getting more content that is anti-woke. We're getting less content in general. There's no replacement. And there won't be. There's no demand for like specifically anti-woke content. That's what Daily Wire tried to do. Like all of their early stuff was literally just making fun of woke. And none of it was successful. None of it was successful. because nobody wants to watch that long term. It's not a plan that can sustain itself over a long period of time. So I would love to see something that is explicitly anti-woke, that has been massively successful since Trump won back in November. I can't think of anything. Matter of fact, the dog whistly American Eagle Sydney Sweeney stuff didn't work. Their value dropped when she did it, and then their value went up when she left and Martha Stewart came in. So clearly nobody gives a shit about anti-woke. So even if you think woke is dead, if that's your argument, like woke is dead, woke is gone, woke is over, anti-woke didn't take over and start crushing it all of a sudden. So it's not like anti-woke did anything, you know what I mean? Like if woke is dead, then anti-woke is dead too. It's the whole, throw the whole thing away if that's the case. Have you seen the Supergirl hate? Yes, I have. How predictable is the reaction? Please debunk this. Love from Canada. What's up, Canada? Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. I have a few things bookmarked I want to talk about in a separate video. I'm going to do a whole video on this tomorrow. Matter of fact, it's going to be a long video tomorrow where I cover pretty comprehensively all my thoughts and opinions on just the superhero stuff. I might debunk multiple videos. We'll see. We'll see how long it's going to be. It's going to be a longer video. But yeah, it is predictable. It's predictable because the people that are complaining about this it's reached a point where it's pretty obvious, I think, to everybody, even some people that were siding with them on a lot of this, DEI bad, wokeness bad stuff. They're seeing it and they're looking at the trailer and they're going, no, the trailer looks good. I don't know what is happening while these people are going after it so hard. I can tell you why, because there's nothing for them to complain about. There is literally nothing in that trailer that sets off any of the alarm bells for me from the typical, girl boss shit that they complain about. It's literally a movie about a young woman who is struggling with depression that is going to have to fight her way to the top, which is the opposite of Mary Sue, opposite of girl boss, right? It's the opposite of all of that. It's going to be a struggle. It's not a team movie, because I see a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is wild. What, all of a sudden Guardians of the Galaxy is bad. We don't want movies to be good like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's really fucking strange. It's also not a James Gunn movie. If James Gunn wanted to direct the movie, he could have just directed it because he's in charge of the DCU. So this idea of him shadow directing a movie when he doesn't have to, why would he do a shadow directorial thing with Supergirl when he could have just said, no, I'm directing it? He could have just did it. So it doesn't make sense that he would shadow direct it. It's strange. Anyway, there's all this hate about it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy was good. Most of the people in the Chud space would argue that the first Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the best Marvel movies. So it's kind of strange that now all of a sudden it's a bad thing, because they just have to hate James Gunn so much, they have to hate the DCU so much. It's really fucking weird. The soundtrack for it seems like it's going to be fun. I think Lobo looked great in the trailer from what we saw of him. It's not a massive team up. It's just her and this other character. I don't want to spoil the comic book if you haven't read it yet, but there's only one other character she really primarily hangs out with, and then there's Crypto, obviously. There's just so many good things about this teaser that I think shows that this movie is going to have a lot of heart behind it and possibly tackle some pretty heavy subject matter. So I'm totally down for that. And watching them go crazy on it and attack it is just funny to me. It's funny and it's sad. And as you said here, predictable. But much, much, much more on that tomorrow. We're going to go through tweets. We're going to go through videos. Definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty crazy jumping into all of it. Let's do our next question. With all the Democrat wins recently, it gives me hope. It's an uphill battle, but you have always been fighting and saying don't give up, so I want to say thank you. Well, that's just my personality. I don't do the doomerist stuff. I don't want to get into a place where I am feeling oppressed by people that want me to feel oppressed, because that's literally doing exactly what they want me to do. And I'm not saying that you can't have a moment where you feel weak and you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do and I'm feeling down or whatever. Yeah, obviously everybody's going to have those. But I think to make that your entire existence is exactly what they want. I will never do that, and I implore anyone watching this to push back against that as well. That's what they want. That is the power they have. Don't give them that power. Don't let them have that. That's all they've got. I live in the South, and even people here are starting to wake up. Can we bounce back? It's going to take a lot to bounce back, and it's not going to happen until some sort of accountability is being put upon the people who have done this to us. And so, you know, obviously we start with Trump at the top, and then everyone he's appointed in his administration, all of those people are corrupt as fuck. Every single one of them, every single person attached to his administration, every department, are corrupt individuals who are probably going to get pardoned by Trump, unfortunately, on anything federally. But they might not even make it through the whole term. Like, Trump's admin typically changes. Like, he's getting rid of people, getting new people. It happens a lot. It happened in this first term. So I suspect that we're coming up on a shift in admin at some point. Now, what happens to those individuals if he gets rid of them? Will he actually pardon them? I don't know. I suspect he will for some of them. But once we start getting some accountability, I feel like the bouncing back will actually happen, and we'll see some sort of like change in morale in the country. And as far as people in the South, you know, starting to wake up, yeah, I mean, it's starting to happen with a lot of people. Like, I live in Virginia, and I'm not, you know, I am in the South, but not like the deep South. But even people here are starting to wake up and see it. So yeah, 100%. I totally feel this. This is a real thing. And that brings us to the last comment / question of the video. I want to thank everybody who keeps contributing to this. We have 552 comments and questions here, and I could probably go back through and answer even more for a longer video series, which if you guys would like for me to do that, leave it in the comments below. I did ask before. I didn't see a lot of interest in it, but if you want me to go back and answer some of the comments and questions that I haven't done before, let me know. All right. Interesting. Nerdrotic, aka Gary, has posted 3 videos on his main channel, and all 3 are only in the 300K range. His last video that hit 1 million was Superman 5 months ago. You can tell slowly, vid by vid, his channel is losing a stream or steam, I guess. Same with drinkers. Let's take a look at his channel and see where he is right now. Where's it at here? Just want to take a look. So we'll go over here. So Nerdrotic here. His subs haven't moved. It's been over a month and they haven't moved. The last time I looked at this was last month. 1.23 million subs. Pretty interesting. All right, so let's see what he's got. Videos here. We're going to go with most recent or latest. And we'll go back to the Superman video. Which one was it? Wait, was it? You said it hit 1 million views. Which one was it that hit 1 million views? Has any of them hit 1 million since then? You might be right. This one's close. Fantastic Four. There it is, right here. 1.1 million views. Nobody really cared about Ironheart. Look at that. Nobody cared about that. When I say nobody, I'm being hyperbolic for his channel. Oh, wow. So if you look back 3 months ago, Red Sonja, which wasn't a big draw for a lot of these channels, 332,000 views 3 months ago. So anything in this range for him is kind of like, it's of no interest to his viewers, really, right? Wow. 183K on that one. Even the decline and fall of woke Hollywood couldn't break 500,000 views. So Witcher gave him a little bump there. Jimmy Kimmel didn't work much. J.K. Rowling seems to be interested here. We might see a lot of Harry Potter stuff as we get closer. 466,000 on Witcher. So wait, Witcher went from 800 to 300,000, a little over 300,000 less views. Tron Ares didn't do great. Game of Thrones gave him a little boost there. Lord of the Rings, a little boost. Still, that's not incredible for his channel. Here we go. Witcher came back up for him, so Hollywood is cooked. There we go. That's a close one. So he basically putting all women in the thumbnail worked for him on that one. Epic failure of Witcher. Acolyte wasn't generating any revenue for him. Oh, these are the new ones here. 344,000. 356. 3 weeks ago? So if we're looking at the trends here, 344, then 356, that means this video is done. This video is done. 332,000. If the pattern continues, like for these more recent videos, this video might be done on views. We'll check back on this video later. Remind me at some point to come back and check on this video. I'd be curious to see if it even gets to 500,000 views. That's pretty crazy. All right. Anyway, thanks everyone for checking out the video today. If you would like to participate in this series, make sure you click the link in the description box and you can ask me anything there. I'll be glad to hear from you guys. I get a lot of shout outs. If you just want to go in and give me a shout out and you know, let me know what you're liking, what you're not liking, whatever, and you don't really want to contribute to the series, you can say just a shout out or, you know, whatever you want to say in there. You don't have to just leave comments and questions. You can give feedback as well for the channel. I do appreciate that. Anyway, that's it. Again, tomorrow, long Supergirl video happening, so get ready for that. I can't wait to dive into everything Supergirl from this past week, and there is a lot to talk about. All right, everybody, have a great week, and I will see everyone tomorrow.